In this video, I'd like to talk about working in a coffee shop. In chatting with a lot of my clients, some of them report that they feel that they're more productive in coffee shops. So is this true? Why would being in a coffee shop somehow boost your productivity? Well, here's some reasons why you may find you get more done in the coffee shop. First one is less interruptions. You don't have people in the office talking to you, arguing, walking into your office, things going on. Instead, you're able to just fully focus. And your office phone is left at your office, so therefore you don't have the continual ringing of the phone to interrupt you as well. Another thing is when you're working in your office, you used to work in a certain way, approaching things from a certain angle. And when you're in a coffee shop, all of a sudden you might have a new perspective. You can look at things differently. You might be able to think outside of the box. And a big one is focus. When you're in the office, there's all of your work looking at you, waiting to get done. And when you're in a coffee shop, maybe you've only brought one or two things to work on. So instead, you get that laser focus and you make it work better. If your desk has a lot of paperwork on it, a lot of things calling for your attention, then a coffee shop is great because they give you a clean table instead of your cluttered desk to work at. So it gives you a clean workspace. And of course, there's the impact of caffeine, which for many people gives them a pick-me-up, especially in the afternoon. Interestingly for me, I haven't drank caffeine in my coffee for years. I do drink coffee, but I drink decaf. But my body is so used to that jolt that when I grab a cup of decaf coffee in the morning, I still feel like I get the same pick-me-up. So I get all the benefit without all the extra caffeine. Some people like the background noise of coffee shops and find that it makes it easier for them to work. It's kind of like a white noise thing. And you can even, if you look on YouTube, you can even get some background coffee shop noise to play in the background in your normal office to see if it helps, see if it works. For those of you who work from home, it's kind of nice to get out and chat with somebody, even if it's just, it's the person serving you in a coffee shop. You might get a lot of isolation. So there's that other benefit to going out. It helps pick you up and you feel more part of the world. You feel more like you're accomplishing something useful instead of just being in that home office where you are all the time. So if you are going to try working in coffee shop, places, what's the best kind of work to do? And one of my favorite things to work on in coffee shops is writing. Sometimes it seems hard to focus on writing in my normal office because I keep thinking of all the marketing things I should do and the other stuff. And writing is something that's easy to do in a coffee shop because you can even do it if you don't have internet, if you've got a lot of the information already figured out. So writing is a great one. Planning's another one. We often don't take enough time for planning, and planning in a coffee shop gets you away from the office. You're not interrupted, and you can work out what are the next key areas you want to focus on, the next things to do. So planning and brainstorming, those kinds of things are great for working in a coffee shop as well. And if there's some tasks you just never seem to get to, they're on your to-do list every day, then consider going to a coffee shop for a couple of hours and just seeing if you can get some of those tasks off your list. See if you can work through them. There are some issues in working with coffee shops, things that can cause some difficulties. And of course, one of the big ones is bathroom breaks. Don't want to leave your expensive laptop or tablet on the table while you go for a bathroom break. The good news is laptops and tablets are small enough you might be able to take them with you. I try to go to when I first get to a coffee shop, I go to the bathroom first before I order my coffee or start working. So hopefully that tides me through. But if it doesn't, I just make sure I've got enough portable stuff that I can pack it up quickly and take it in with me. Well, some people find it easy to focus in coffee shops. There can also be a lot of loud people, a lot of people talking, a lot of people coming in and out. So it can be difficult as well. So this is where you might want to bring along a headset just in case so that you can listen to some light background music or something if you're finding it too loud. And ordering and seating, I want to be very courteous when I'm in a coffee shop. I always make sure I leave a tip, especially if I'm only having a coffee. If I'm going to be there for a couple of hours, I try to order more than one thing, not just one coffee and sip it through the whole time. Maybe I'll order a donut or something to go with it. And if I notice they're filling up at lunch and I'm not going to eat lunch there, I vacate. So I let the lunch rush come in, or maybe the 3 o'clock rush. So I look for their rush times, and I make sure I'm not tying up a table if I've been there a couple of hours already. So a few tips for working effectively in coffee shops. First one I already mentioned is headphones. It helps you block out loud people around you. You can be listening to podcasts. You can be listening to light background music. So it really is a good way. It's a good way to do training or something if you can't seem to get it done in the office. Do be prepared for loss of power if you're trying to charge up fully before you go, but make sure you have your charging cords or maybe backup power, backup batteries, or a power bank with you. I have a power bank that works for my tablet and my smartphone, which helps a lot. Also, be prepared to work offline. You might get to the coffee shop only to find out that their internet connection's down today, or there's a problem, or you have difficulty getting in, or it's really slow. So I make sure that I've got some backup work that I can do even if I'm offline. That would still be useful work. And often that's the writing, where I don't really have to have an internet connection to write. So what's the alternative? If you find coffee shops too loud, too noisy, you hate coffee, remember, you can order tea and other drinks in a coffee shop, but whatever reason you don't like a coffee shop, they just don't work for you, what's some alternatives to get you out of your normal office and to be able to focus? You can try libraries. Libraries have gone far from beyond just being a place for books to where lots of people are working, connecting, doing things, online. So consider libraries, and they tend to be a little quieter than coffee shops. Don't have the food and drink options, but they do tend to be quieter. A hotel can also work quite well. It can give you a place where you're not interrupted, where you can work. They've got Wi-Fi set up there. I have several times gone off for weekends where I do planning weekends at a cabin out somewhere or at a hotel somewhere, and I find it works very well. I know many successful people who will take a hotel room a couple times a month just to be able to catch up on some things and just to be able to work uninterrupted. And there's a real rise in co-working spaces now. These are spaces where you can rent a desk by the hour or go and work, and that's another option to a coffee shop. If you found this useful, please share on your favorite social media. And if you'd like more help, I offer time management coaching consulting. I work with individual and groups, and you can contact me for a free 20-minute consultation on how I can help. Thank you for listening. If you want more information, visit captaintime.com.